like, I'm the life changer now. So any moment could be an impactful moment. Like if I'm talking to a group of guys, I want that moment to be big. That might be the biggest moment of my life. You know, I don't know that. But like me being a life changer, that's how I go into every situation. God gave you that vision for a reason. Just do it and believe in yourself. You know, everything else that come with it, take it. You know, you can say one thing to somebody and it change their life forever. Don't worry about sitting on the back of the bus. Just focus on where you're going. Every moment is a life-changing moment. Speak on it, don't hold it in. What's up, what's up? This is another episode of Speak On It. I'm the life changer, the host. Today I got a beautiful Ashjia, the beautiful Ashjia with me today.
Thank you.
CEO, owner of Wraggs to Riches.
Yep, Wraggs to Riches, everything.
Wraggs to Riches, everything. First, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for allowing me to have you on my platform.
You're welcome. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for choosing me.
Yes, yes. But before we get started, before we tap into our conversation, I want to give a shout out to Cash App, Spotify, Apple Music, Apple, Google Play, Tidal, all that good stuff. One thing we want is the story. Speak on it, don't hold it in. Where we start, where we begin, let's go to the beginning.
What's the beginning?
Where Ashjia come from? Where all this
the brand
start?
Everything.
No, your life.
My life, woo.
Like how did you get brought up? How was the upbringing? And the mom and dad, was they in the house?
Okay, he going way back, y'all. Okay. Well, my name is Ashjia Wraggs Pettis. I'm married now.
So your last name is Wraggs?
My last name is Wraggs. That is where my brand comes from, and I've been married for 5 years. So my last name is Pettis now, but my brand did start about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Probably 11 now. So let's make this a long story short. No, both parents were not in the home. I was raised by my mom and my grandmother. I do have a really good relationship with my dad now, which is where my last name comes from. And I absolutely love my dad's side. My Granny Wraggs, everybody, if you on any of my social media pages, Granny Wraggs, she's a pillar.
Shout out to the Wraggs.
So, but yeah, I just, I grew up, I feel like normal. Like, I won't say I have that whole, cliche story of, a rags to riches story. No. Which is why I kind of ran from my Rags to Riches brand, because I'm like, I didn't grow up in the slums and, didn't live on the side of the road, none of that. Although, I do have some ghetto stories. I did live in the hood on the north side, You can't walk through your floor, you might fall through it. You ate sugar bread.
You talking about my stomach ground. Okay.
Right,
we can relate.
Hey, I know all them streets over there. So I did grow up partially over there.
Yeah.
So I do have some experience of coming from rags, and growing up on food stamps and all of that. I got that story, but I just didn't 100% relate to it because I also had my grandmother, which is my mom's mother, and we lived out here in North County. So, and she was doing better, for herself.
Yeah.
So I was able to choose, okay, did I want to grow up 100% on the north side, or did I want to, go live with my granny? You know how most of us do. We go live with somebody that's a little bit more stable. So,
yeah.
And that's what I chose to do, and I'm very happy I did. I went to Riverview High School so I had a stable, school life, from grade school to, I was in Riverview the whole time, grade school, middle school, high school.
That's good. So why it couldn't be Rags to Riches in terms of the positive side of it? Because Rags is the last name and the foundation.
And that's what I'm actually, more inspired by now, and I'm really thankful that I did choose to go with the Rags to Riches brand, because it is a lot of, everybody knows me, like anything affiliated with riches and wealth is me. It's, even my grandmother, my Granny Wraggs, she even tell me, I used to tell her as a kid, I'm going to be rich. I was like, did I tell you that? She was like, yes. I'm like, okay.
Because that's where I was going to. When did you start having this type of mindset. Because when I look at you, you just a stand-up woman, and you just firm, like with what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when I say, where did you first like realize like, okay, I'm who I am and I'm who I'm gonna be. Like you said, your granny said, you said
True.
that you gonna be rich at a young age.
True.
That was the mindset right there. But
I do think that, I had family members already, how family members or people that you are close with at a young age, we're supposed to speak life into our young people.
yeah,
I do feel they did that with me.
That's good.
I had aunties calling me Miss America, I'm talking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, So those kind of things, they stick with you. And then you get lost along the way, and things happen and, you do deal with insecurities, you do deal with, shame, and, you deal with things that do make you feel not worthy and not valuable. But at some point, I'm going to say it took me, I would say, till I was definitely out of high school. So early or late teens and early 20s for me to feel like I got to get my shit together.
Yeah.
That's when it really hit me. I had my son young at 17 years old. He's actually 17 right now, so I'm young. I'm still young at heart, but he's 17 now. And I think by the time he wasn't a toddler anymore, he was on his way to kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's when I really was like, okay, you can't keep playing around. You can't keep dumbing yourself down. You have to literally grow up more out here. I mean, I grew up, I was living on my own at 17, 18 years old, had my own place. I was very independent. But at some point, it was like, I have to realize my worth and my value. And from there, I went to school to do hair. After a traumatic incident, broke my ankle and couldn't work and got evicted, had to move back home,
Speak on going through that situation. Speak on that time right there. And you
I
ain't
lived
gotta
in
make
the
it
hood
long,
again.
just
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? How did you break your ankle, or what was your
Mental,
depression level
yeah.
at, or your stress level at?
It was
going
up
through
there. I lived in the hood off Anderson, which is that the west side now? We're a little bit past the north side. Kings Highway, a little bit more on the west side. So, I'm trying to live a lifestyle that, really is not me, but, just trying to be independent. And I think I must have been 21 or so, 22 maybe. And I was it was a drunk night. Let's be honest. It was a drunk night.
So one of the heels then gave out on you.
It wasn't even the heels. Look, I needed to go get me a 7-Up soda the next morning because I had a hangover. And the steps in the building, which was a raggedy building, they didn't have no railing on the wall or nothing. Long story short, I had on these slippery flat shoes. And I'm finna walk to the corner store, and I slid down the steps. And when I landed like that. I landed where I'm literally sitting on my foot, and that mug was broke in 7 different spots. So I got a plate and about 6, 7 screws in my ankle.
See, y'all didn't even know this about the owner of Wraggs the Riches.
And that was the trajectory that changed my entire life. I had to drive myself to the hospital because I was so broke already. Again, I'm living already in the hood, paying minimum rent, and I had to drive myself to the hospital because I didn't want a $500 ambulance bill. So I was like,
that's tough.
Yeah. So I got evicted because obviously I couldn't work anymore. I was a waitress at a casino. So I can't waitress with a broke ankle. So got evicted. My grandmother, my mother, everybody was there for me, until I had to leave my place. And I moved in, I think I moved in with my grandmother, the one that raised me, which is my mom's mother. I moved in with her.
Miss Wraggs?
No, that's my dad's mom.
Okay, Miss Wraggs.
That's my dad. I got my dad last name.
Okay.
And so, after that, it was just a matter of figuring out what am I finna do with my life, because I was already just a waitress at a casino with a 4-year-old son.
So at that moment, you in a dark spot.
I'm in a dark spot. I was in a bad spot. I mean, And I started, I've always had beauty in my, environment. It's just my grandmother and my mother, they're beauty queens to me. And it's on my mom's side. They're beauty queens to me. And so I seen them growing up, hair and makeup and, just being baby dolls that they are, things like that, gorgeous women. And I've always dibbled and dabbled in hair and makeup. And just to kind of fast forward a little bit, I just decided I need to go to school to do something. Like, there's no more just trying to work a regular 9-to-5 job. And my friend owned a salon, and she let me come assist her.
Yeah.
I had never been in the environment of a salons, and I was always afraid of them, intimidated by them, rather. Even the enemy tried to deal with my mind. Like, it was weird. It was just like, you just gonna take these people money for doing their hair, charge them all this money? Like, I was really in a dark spot. But when I seen how successful she was, I was extremely inspired and was like, I need to go to school. Like, people have been telling me for years, I need to go to school to do hair or do makeup. Makeup is my original passion. That's what people originally know me for. But I didn't push with that. I went to school to do hair, thinking I would be a makeup artist from that, but fell in love with doing hair. I mean, fell head over heels.
So how did you stay consistent though? Like, coming out of that dark spot, how did you stay consistent?
So I went to school
like, was somebody keeping a kid and...
This I'm telling you, it was all God's timing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I don't even be mad for breaking my ankle no more. Like, the scar I'm not even insecure about the scar. It's actually inspiration to me because it just reminds me of where I actually came from and that wasn't nothing but God, because to break my ankle and then about 6 months later, I go assist her at her salon, and then God told me, go apply to the elite school in St. Louis. They not taking no, not insurance,
Financial aid.
No financial aid, like you paying cash. Do you know I do not owe a bill at that school and didn't pay them barely $2,000?
What? How that happen? You don't know?
The Lord. That's the only way, because I listened to him. And so, again, the consistency came because, to me, when you actually hear God, and we all desire to hear a voice to tell us to go down a path. You know what I mean? Like, I'm dealing with that right now. I'm trying to hear God again right now, even after all of this success, And I went to school. And I was consistent because I was motivated. I knew this is what I was supposed to do. So I think that helps you be consistent when you know. When you don't know, it's harder to be consistent. And you trying any and everything, so till something works. But when you know, like, this is the path I'm supposed to go down, you being obedient, it was easy to be consistent. Being honest, like, that was the best time of my life in hair school at Paul Mitchell. It was like the best time.
It's easy to be consistent. It was easy. You know that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, and I find that a lot of, and that was 11 years ago. I find it now throughout my entire journey, anything that I'm called to do, it's easy to be consistent. It's easy to get it done. But things you're not called to do, it's harder.
To get done.
Oh, it's so much.
That's tough. You just said something.
It's harder.
You just said something.
Because you questioning the whole way, it's all kind of reasons why you're not consistent. It's you want to do it because other people doing it. So that's not your thing. That's not what you're supposed to do.
That's tough. So take us through, okay, you was in that dark spot, you came up out of that, you God blessed you along the way, and now it's rags to riches, or like what came after that? Because what was the ideal or the plan? Like, okay, this popped, then it was rags to riches off of that, or was it, I don't know.
I never wanted to be a salon owner.
I know a lot of people didn't know that.
I just wanted to go to school, so that I could become a stable parent.
Yeah.
I wasn't dreaming. I wasn't thinking about the future. And once I'm working in that salon, again, my mother, who is my number one supporter.
Shout out to Mom.
Yes. She really, I'm telling you, if anybody speaks life into me, it is her all day. And she told me, fresh out of school, I'm 6 months out of school, and she like, you gonna own your own salon. I'm like, I don't want to own my own salon. I just want to do hair. I'm making some money now. I can pay my bills, this, that.
Yeah.
And, I'm just like, I'm brushing her off. Okay, mama. Now I have people coming in the salon, my clients, the other stylist clients, like, do you own this salon? I'm like, no, she owns this salon.
Okay, in her salon.
In another person's salon, I got people asking me, am I the owner? While my mother is speaking life into me, along the journey, saying, you gonna own your own salon. You gonna be, I'm like, I don't wanna do that. I don't even know how. That was 2010. Yes, 2010. And I opened my own salon in 2014. Barely 4 years later, 3.5 years later, here I am opening my own salon. Because I think that once you do get on the path that you are called to, you can actually see clearer now. Clarity becomes, 2020.
Yeah.
You can actually see, I can own a salon. I can reach for the stars. Sky is not just the limit. I can go as far as I want to go. Mm-hmm. So, and that's pretty much, what birthed Rags to Riches. And then once I got in here, same thing happened again. I'm like, owning a salon is not just the end game. Like, I need more. I want more. I want to help more people. I want to do more, and then just to backtrack, I want to say maybe in my teenage years, 16 or so, I just had this vision that I was going to have an umbrella, like of one company with all my other companies underneath. And technically, that's what I have going on right now.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And that's good. And you doing it.
It's exciting. It's stressful. I ain't gonna lie, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I love being an entrepreneur. I'm grateful to be an entrepreneur. I really am.
So, speak on the book. How did the book come about?
So once I became an official entrepreneur, is how I feel. Really being in the industry, for multiple years, and now you got to learn how to manage your own money, things like that. That's a whole nother ball game. It's one thing to, to manage your money just from having a 9 to 5. You got consistent income coming in, but when you don't have insurance, you don't have just anything consistent as you would have. You don't have 401k. You don't have those things when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that again had me just really inspired to go further. For the first time, coming from broke, living on food stamps, even the TANF, the money they give, coming from that to I'm sitting here being able to save, 10 grand a year. Like, that was humongous to me. And obviously hitting a pitfall in my journey made me feel like if I did it once, I could do it again. But how do I do it now? How do I do it more strategic?
Yeah.
And the vision honestly came to me while at church one day. And it was creating your financial future, because we all aspire to create that financial future. We have to start building it now so that we can see it later,
Yeah.
And my desire was for us, it was really tailored to those in the industry. Like, that's really my niche. I just haven't broken down and really catered to my niche, which is the salon industry. Hairstylists, barbers, everybody, right, in this industry.
Yeah.
Estheticians. We, to me, are amongst the favorable when it comes to entrepreneurship. We deal in cash and card business.
Yeah.
But yet we have the least to show for it. I know so many stylists who are 40, 50, 60 years old still doing hair. Why? They did not plan. They didn't create their future back then. We don't save. We got all this cash in our pocket. We leave and go shop, go to the mall, or,
blueprint.
We have nothing to put in the bank at the end of the day. And obviously my son was another reason that really inspired me, because I was like, I refuse for him to deal with any of the financial hardships that, me and my family had to go through. So that was another, and he is one of my biggest testimonies right now. And so basically I wanted to create what I would consider more of a workbook / planner that teaches you how to manage your finances, how to put it in the right categories, how much of your income to put in those categories so that you can save, so that you can invest, and stop spending so much. We should not be overspending. We don't need all the material stuff as we think we do. Yeah. So once you really learn, the value of a dollar and how to invest and how your money can work for you, that was another change. Once I realized, wait, you mean tell me I could take this and it can go out and work and do more money? It's not even living and breathing, but it can go make me more money. Oh, I was head over heels after that.
So you didn't turn to an investor.
I'm an investor as well. I trade in the Forex stocks, options, and futures market. I do. Yes, I do.
That's good.
So that for me, that's my. If I had to say I had that thing that I felt like was just really gonna create multiple millions for me, even billionaire status, it'll be that. I've been doing it for 4 years now, and so I'm excited to see what's coming.
She don't want to tell us something.
I can't tell y'all.
Nah.
I don't want to get robbed out.
Right, you still in St. Louis.
I'm still in St. Louis, but yeah.
But that's good though.
But I coach everybody in any and everything that I do. That led me to business credit. I'm a huge advocate for business credit, teaching entrepreneurs how to leverage OPM. How to move like the wealthy move.
I might need you for that.
It's no longer the poor is poor and the wealthy stay wealthy. No, we literally can move just like the wealthy move. It's really not hard. So all that cliche stuff, I don't believe it. I don't listen to it. It's just a matter of acquiring the knowledge.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good, man. So you a speaker? So
I do speak. I do. I have been speaking probably for, I would say about the last 5 years now.
Would you say more like motivational speak or like more like seminar type speaking?
I would say more seminar type, more like in a coaching form, a teaching form, training form. I do plan to break more, to collaborate more in the motivational side. But I'm just a realist.
I can see that.
I'm just such a realist.
Most of them be.
It's hard for me to be like, yes, you can do it. No, you gotta do it. Like, it's a difference. I come from a little bit different angle. I'm a little like low tolerance, hardcore a little bit. With a smile though.
You gotta be though. Being a motivational speaker, how do you motivate me without being like that? You can't just be all so nice.
You can't be so nice.
And motivate me.
Yeah.
Just be like, okay, she just tell me what I want to hear. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the motivation, I think, come from.
It is. And people need that. They need that accountability. I need that. I have friends now and I'm thankful for them. One put me on a challenge to get my book done. I actually procrastinated on my book for a whole year because, again, trials and tribulations. Yeah. And he said to me, you got to the end of the year to get this book done. Don't let me get my book done before you. Hardcore. That was all I needed, and I had that book done. Didn't matter how much it cost.
He's still around?
He is still around. Oh, yeah, good friend.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Keep them around. Them type of friends you keep around.
For
sure. So you went from doing hair to selling like $450 wigs? I know wigs just came back a couple years ago, I probably want to say, or I don't know how long.
It's been a little longer than that, but the trend of them being so good looking, that has been about 2 years to me. Believe it or not, before I opened my salon, and you can scroll through my Instagram to see I'm telling the truth. Like, you can scroll through my Facebook. My first wig I made was in 2010. So I actually started with wigs at the first salon, but that's when it was like, people was paying dang near $1,000 for a wig. The lady brought it to me. So they've been around a long time. Okay. But as far as Wraggs to Riches brand, that actually started in 2013. I created Wraggs to Riches Wigs LLC in 2013. So that for me came from really the more passionate side of doing hair, seeing these women get unhealthy, things done to their hair, from the quick weaves to the sew-ins. They're not always the healthiest. They're probably a little bit more healthy because we have newer advanced products and techniques and things. But back then I was really inspired because I'm like, these people are losing their hair because we don't have the means and the new techniques to make them more healthy. So long story short, that brand I became one of the first wig makers in St. Louis. And now, while I do still custom make wigs, I do retail wigs now. So I actually just sell the wigs. I have manufacturers that I work very closely with to structure my wigs. Why? Because I like passive income, and things that don't take up all your time. So people still get the same quality, but I don't have to custom make every single wig now.
What makes yours different, though? Because it's a lot of people doing this.
It's a lot of people doing it. I feel like my experience, my expertise in the industry for 10 years makes me different. And then the
small stuff like working with the
Like when I say expertise, I can actually call down exactly what a person needs and what they don't need. I have other stylists asking me, well, what do you think I should do, for this client? Even though they do wigs, but that's because sometimes just because you do something don't mean you're an expert in it, and you don't know if this is, people might not understand why their wig is sliding off. That comes with time and experience, things like that. So for me, what makes them different is I can, whoever needs a wig, I can make sure they get exactly what they need. They need a wig they can take on and off at night. I have a wig for you for that. You need a wig that, you're going to be looking like a celebrity. I have a wig for that,
That's good. And I think that's what I was about to say. I think that's working closer with your vendors. I don't think a lot of people don't work close with their vendors. I just send me the stuff. Okay, now I'm going to get it going.
Yeah, when it comes to lace and structure of your wigs, some of these wigs, they got so much material in them. You got a wide
face and then the wig is not that wide or something like that?
It's all kind of stuff. I mean, that's part of, if you're going to install them, that's part of knowing how to customize it to the client as well. So.
All right. So, what would you tell somebody who's trying to get a business started, any business started, just an entrepreneur mindset right now, like just trying to get something started, but they at that block, they in that dark place. Like, what would be like a few words to kind of describe where you was at and like what you can tell them to really, really focus on?
Write the vision and make it plain. Like, I'm not churchy at all. I love the Lord. I do believe in my higher power.
That's good.
But I do love Bible scriptures because I believe that they're wisdom. And when he told us to write the vision, make it plain, when he told us to spread our grains across the seas, 7 seas, all of that. Like, so I would say write the vision. If I had to say any time that I birthed the best part of my businesses is when I actually wrote them down. When I wrote things down in my journal, or now we can write it in our phone. I like journals better. It's something about writing it out, actually detailing things out. Put it on your wall so you can see it. It makes you work towards those goals. So if you are in a dark place, if it's all in your head right now, you gotta get it out because it's really not gonna. It's still like in the womb in your head. It hasn't really birthed yet. So the first part of birthing something is actually to put it out into the universe. And therefore, that's putting it on paper. Write it out so you can see it, so you can see what it's going to take to accomplish it,
that's good.
And then from there, coaching. Like, we didn't have a lot of coaching back in the day. You really had to just kind of walk your way through or pray you met somebody that would help you along the way. Then you got to trust this person. Like, now you could get some coaching for $50 online. You would get coaching for $100 online, but it just pushes you a little bit further. So it depends on how fast you want to move, depends on what type of coaching you want to receive. But
that's good.
For somebody in a dark place, write it out.
Yeah, write it down, make it plain.
Absolutely.
So is you in any like hair shows or anything? Do you?
No hair shows. Now I'm really focused on everything that helps other people build financial literacy and wealth. So I am still in the salon behind the chair part-time. I have clients that just won't let me go, But I also just want to come from behind the chair. I've been here for 11 years. While it's been absolutely wonderful, it's not my full-time inspiration anymore. Now actually helping people with financial literacy, like because we are such great people that we are creating businesses and building legacies at rapid speed right now.
Sure.
Like our kids are
For
creating
sure.
businesses before we are sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's one thing just to create a business, but how the actual process of it works, how to manage the finances within that business, that's a whole nother ball game, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really inspired to help people with that.
And that's good, and that take me to like my life-changing moment right now. So like when I'm talking to people, I kind of give them a life-changing moment where I kind of encourage them or give them some type of advice about something. What came to my mind is a foundation for you, like creating a foundation. Because it feels like, it seems like you want to give back, you want to give the blueprint to other women who want to probably do wigs, who want to do hair, whatever. And you able to give that to them at the same time, be blessed, of course. But what you think about a foundation?
I see it. I've seen a nonprofit. I don't know exactly what it is. So you would be one of those people who have spoken into my life, and I ain't gonna forget it when it happens.
For sure.
So, but yeah, you would be one of those people that definitely, when that happens, I'm like, okay, God, you were speaking through them too. All right.
For sure, for sure. So what's next? What's next? What's okay? I want to move out the shop, but like you just said,
you know, I've been here for 8 years.
Okay.
And it has been a wonderful journey. I have two options because I don't want to physically manage it anymore.
Yeah.
But I hate to see it leave. I mean, we're in an excellent location. The community knows us. We've done back to school events here. You know, we've done quite a bit of things. And it's either to sell it to somebody else who wants to own a salon. And I mean, I give them from the ground up. Like they can take off running with it, you know.
Are you literally just going to walk out the door, get in your car and leave?
After we sign the papers.
After we sign the papers, of course. Right? Come on,
But yes.
Not before we sign the papers. I was finna say I want
I'm
it
joking
then.
with you,
No,
but yes. But somebody who inspired but afraid because they like how to work, you know, how to like trying to find a location is huge. So
yeah.
Again, it's either to sell this as is, I mean, and it would come with everything you see. They would get the wig business or whatever they actually want to do in here. You know, I could just help them in so many aspects when it comes to the salon. Yes. Yeah. Or I don't know, it's always between these two things, or create an actual academy out of it because I do have Rags to Riches Business and Beauty Academy. So I'm thinking, and I am a licensed instructor, I just haven't moved in it so much. But again, that's something I'm thinking about because we do need more hair schools in St. Louis. We need more. And we need top of the line.
And this one would be a great one.
It would.
Just on the setup alone right now.
And one of the reasons I'm inspired by that is because it's a lot of DIY people now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, people, like hair care to me reminds me of going to the dentist. You know, it reminds me of going to the doctor, basically. You know, in some type of, you know, healthcare field. It truly is that. You have people with alopecia. You have people with dermatitis, you know, you have certain things that people have going on with their head that it requires you to be a licensed cosmetologist, not just a YouTube cosmetologist. You're not even a cosmetologist on YouTube. You're just somebody who do hair.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons I'm inspired because I really want to see this industry continue to thrive legally. Like, again, not just somebody who do hair at their house.
Could we be looking for another book?
Yes.
Ooh,
and look, I don't even say you asking all the right questions. It's like you know me a little bit. I'm really surprised he asked that because
you my sister. We ain't never met. No, I'm just saying.
The reason the answer is yes, but apprehensively, is because I never really wanted to write one book. Here I am already prepared to write a second one, and that was actually going to be on business. It's going to be very similar to my personal book, which is Creating Your Financial Future. So your personal finances, but this one will be tailored to how to manage your business finances. And that is huge.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. And that's going to be like a spin-off of that?
It'll be a spin-off of that.
That's good,
Yeah.
man. So, I appreciate you, man. You look beautiful
Thank
today.
you.
I can't.
I love your style too. You swaggy.
You know, I try to do my thing a little bit sometimes, you know.
I love how creative we are. It just really makes me smile. I love when people just live authentically, like.
Oh yeah, it's just authentic,
And that's one thing
man.
about the hair industry. That's one reason I love it. I got a head full of hair, but I can, you know, like it just makes you just be authentic to what you like, what you do.
Yeah,
But no, I appreciate you. This was awesome. While I was nervous at first,
I don't know why you was nervous. I told you you're going to be fine. And it was a great interview. It was a great conversation. I appreciate you. Keep being great.
Thank you.
Don't let nobody else tell you nothing different. And God got you. As long as you stay tight with God and strive to be the best that you can be in His eyes, then nothing else matters.
Thank you.
This is
I
another
received
episode
it.
of Speak On It. I'm the host of Life Changer, the beautiful Asia.
Thank you all.
We out.
I was always crazy and outspoken and talkative, so when like people ran up to me, I was just happy. I was happy to make them happy. Like what I did made them happy. That's why I liked it. I liked when they came up to me and asked for pictures and stuff. It was great.
And that's why, and that's why I'm glad C. Diddy said that, like the overwhelming part as kids,
Right.
like it was like, you know, too much.
Me as myself, I'm not like, I mean, I'm social, but like to a certain extent. Like I was never the one who would just be outspoken or go and,
like outgoing, like. Yeah,
I am.
It seemed like that was her. She just, when you see her, she just pop all the way out, like just pop out, like.
Yeah.
But when I first seen y'all, I'm like, man, y'all had swagger, y'all was just dope, like, you know what I'm saying? And we seen each other a couple times